Umunna,
Hi, John.
Newest member of the Liberal Democrats. Now, you've been very rude about the Liberal Democrats in the past. Are they not just a sort of convenient dumping ground where any politician who doesn't actually fit into any of the other parties finds themselves ending up?
No. Funny I should say that. I'm a social democrat with liberal values. I believe in a free and open society. I'm a Keynesian who believes in a mixed market economy that is strong and fair and enables people to achieve their dreams and aspirations regardless of their background. I believe that we need to completely overhaul our ridiculous constitution and the way our democracy works. And above all, I'm unapologetically an internationalist, which is why I think leaving the European Union is a disaster. Those are Liberal Democrat values.
So why didn't you go straight into the Liberal Democrats when you left the Labour Party?
Because there were two or three things, actually. I think, first of all, my belief at the time, and I only left the Labour Party in February, was that amongst the millions of progressively minded, politically homeless people in our country, people wanted a new party. That was what my analysis was. And it turns out, if you look at the two national elections there have been, the local elections in England and the European elections across the whole of the UK, it turns out that that isn't what people wanted in the progressive, pro-European centre ground of British politics. They actually wanted those sitting in that political space to come together, to work as closely as possible together and to consolidate. And I thought you can either put your head in the sand and ignore that, or actually take heed of what people are asking for. And I think the second thing is that if you are trying to give birth to a new political party in a system of proportional representation, as it was in the European elections with Change UK, and it's not able to succeed in that context, it certainly is not going to gain traction in a first-past-the-post setting, the system used in Westminster elections. And it's clear in that scenario that there's only space for one main centre ground proposition. And so that's why, those are the two reasons why I suppose I didn't join the Liberal Democrats in the first instance, because that was my analysis. And in fairness, actually, I think a lot of people at all levels of the Liberal Democrats who I spoke to shortly after I left the Labour Party, they tended to kind of agree with my kind of turned out mistaken analysis of the situation then.
Well, they wanted you to set up a new party.
There were broad discussions which were fairly non-tribal, frankly, about how do we ensure that the progressive, radical centre ground of British politics can prevail at the next general election. And people were not precious about how to do that. I think one of the big issues that overlays the reasons why there isn't a desire for a new party and why it's so hard for things to succeed in a first-past-the-post setting in terms of having more than one centre ground party is that I massively underestimated just how important it is to have an existing party infrastructure. And part of the problem that we had in Change UK was that we were trying to basically run a national campaign in the European elections without any infrastructure at all, but build as we went along. That's proved absolutely impossible to do. The other thing I should mention, actually, obviously, one of the things, and you talked about me having been rude about the Liberal Democrats in the past, it wasn't about the values or principles of liberal democracy, which are mine. But obviously it is the austerity that was pursued by the 2010 to 2015